So guys, yeah, so thanks very much again. So World Sight Day with Retina International Youth Council. So I'm just gonna go through the housekeeping of today. So I just ask that everyone please stay on mute until you are ready to speak. To raise your hands to ask questions, press Alt and A to mute and to unmute the same again. For a Mac computer, it's Command plus Shift plus A. And to start or stop video recording, which is the camera, it's Alt plus V on a Windows. And for a Mac, it's Command plus Shift plus V. To raise or lower your hand, it's Alt plus Y on a Windows. And for a Mac, it's Command plus Shift plus Y. So I just ask everybody to stay on mute. If you have any questions, please put it in the chat box and we'll get back to your questions at the end of the webinar as well. So the running order for the agenda today, guys, is just the introduction, which I've done there, housekeeping, and then the agenda. So for the next couple of minutes, it's going to be the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary of the Youth Council, who are going to do a brief introduction about themselves. We then have opening presentations on the Youth Council from Marina and Cecilia. We have a Q&A from Cecilia and Vincent on the decision to engage in sports and take on new challenges for individuals with visual impairment, and open discussions with a Paralympian and a CrossFitter. The two of them are named Arthur and Liliane. We then have a lecture by Mariana Salz on eye care, retinal diseases, treatment and cures. We then have presentation by Marina Leite on smart glasses. And then the last bit is psychological aspects for people with retinal diseases from Cecilia. And I'll conclude at the end there, guys. So to start off, guys, we'll start off with the introduction of the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. So Cecilia, if you'd like to start there.
Hi guys, good morning or good afternoon. My name is Cecília Vasconcellos. I just have become the chair of Youth Council and I'm very happy. I hope I can do a good job. I'm Brazilian, I'm a psychologist. I'm a white woman with red hair, brown eyes. I'm using, I think it's yellow t-shirt. My background is white. I work in a lot of different things, but I will explain just so you know my story and what I'm doing. I'm pursuing a PhD in Federal University of São Paulo. I study inherited retinal dystrophies and psychological aspects. And do you imagine that there are a lot of psychological aspects in this case, in this disease? So a lot of things to study. Here in Brazil, I work in Retina Brazil and in Bengala Verde Brazil. Bengala Verde Brazil is an association for people with low vision, not only for retinal disease. It's an association for try to show people how is the difference of low vision and blindness and conscientize about this difference. I work as a director and as a psychologist doing psychotherapeutic groups for people with visual impairment and their parents. And I like so much to do this. And I'm a person with Leber congenital amaurosis in gene RD12. So I work too in Eyes on the Future. It's a group in London, but it's a world group for people with Leber congenital amaurosis, specific in the gene. And that's it. Free to contact me. I like to talk to everybody, and I hope I can help or share with everybody you want. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Vincent Fuchs. I will take over. I'm the vice chairman. I'm 32 years old. I work as a physiotherapist. And right now, I'm doing the Camino. Hopefully, the connection here is good. I'm doing the Camino in Portugal. That's also like really much hiking and stuff. Right now, it's still possible with my eyesight. I have choroderemia, and yes, I'm the vice chairman. If you have anything to ask, anything to know, where I can help, please contact me. Yes, I'm from Switzerland, so probably it's I can help a little bit better for the European guys. Thank you.
Okay, I think now it's me, if I'm right. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you are. So my name is Marina. I'm also from Brazil, different city from Cecília, but we're both in Brazil. I also have fair skin and curly brown hair. I'm wearing smart glasses that we'll talk about it soon. And recently I became the secretary of the Retina International Youth Council, which makes me very happy. I've been with the Youth Council for a couple of years now, and it gives me joy to see the council continuing growing and having so amazing people as Cecília and Vincent taking care of the council, and of course having all the support from Andrew. That's really nice. As part of my duties as secretary is actually to support Cecília and Vincent on their duties as chair and vice chair, with like writing the minutes, getting contact, and that's kind of the secretary role basically. So I'm very happy and excited for the future, and I hope you all can enjoy our events today. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks very much for that, guys, and giving a brief introduction about yourselves and the position you do on the U Council. So we'll follow on to our next part of the agenda, which is the opening presentations on the U Council. So I'll just get that set up here. Perfect. So whenever you guys are ready, Marina and Cecília.
Okay, cool. So I think the idea now is to briefly present what is the Red International Youth Council. So the Red International Youth Council is a special group under Retina International governance, and the main and the objective of Red International is to elevate the voice of the youth people and create future leaderships and so on. So a little bit of the history of the Youth Council. I think if you can move on, Andrew, for the next one. During the Red International World Congress that happens every 2 years, there has always been a moment for there has always been a young program that happens before the Congress starts, normally 1 or 2 days before. And this has been happening for a couple of years. And in New Zealand, so in the World Congress in New Zealand 2018, some conversations about creating a youth council, they got stronger. I personally wasn't there, but others were there. And these ideas of really organizing and getting a youth council working on, etc., they got strong. And in the following years, they started the process to have the nominations from the Red International members and so on. So with that in mind, in 2020, remember we were supposed to have a conference, but we had COVID and etc. So the Youth Council was more organized, more it's like starting its work, so they organized an online event. Which is now something that the Youth Council does every year. So every year the Youth Council organizes something that it's online. And when there is a Congress in person, of course, there will be the youth program where the Youth Council will be very involved. So in 2020, there was an online youth conference, and then between 2021, 2021, the Youth Council gets its it's a structure actually working on. It was in terms of reference, etc. So it was getting even more organized, I would say, in terms of like governance, etc. In 2021, we hold another online youth conference, and in 2022, we all met in Iceland. I'm not sure if you were there, but it was really nice to meet some people and and then of course we participated in the World Congress. In 2023, we had another online conference. It was last year, and that one was very interesting because we managed to organize an online event, a 2 days event on different languages. So there was an English session, there was a Spanish session, there was a Portuguese session as well, because the Youth Council is made of different people from different countries, so different languages, and we like to embrace that diversity. So that's why we decided on 2023 to do an event in multiple languages. And of course, this year, some of us were in Ireland, in Dublin, for the Retina International World Congress, and the Retina International presently organized a youth program before. It was amazing. We had lectures on scientific topics. We had conversations on psychological health and emotional health. We even had a Viking boat. How can I say? I was on a kind of a bus/boat from the Second World War, and we visited Dublin. Then we had some dance activity. So it was really nice. And the picture that is on the slides, if you don't see, don't worry, I don't see them. I don't see the picture very well as well. So, but it's basically all the participants of the youth program this year, 2024, is a more recent one. So this is why we decided to put this picture. But everyone is standing, kind of smiling to the picture, and on a large room where the event happened and where we had all the activities. And if you can move on, Andrew. Now we have new officer positions. We had Cecília, we have Vincent taking care and leading the council. But basically what I said, the Youth Council objectives is to support Retina International, try to identify the needs and the wishes of the Youth Council, of the youth community living with retinal disease, to elevate our voices, to increase the participation of the youth inside this whole context of retinal activities, etc. Of course, to help educate the young community and to create future leaderships. That's it for my part. I will hand over to Cecília, which is a marvelous person. Cecília, over to you.
Thank you very much, Marina. I will talk about some actions that Youth Council does, and I think we can create more and more. So when I reading this paper, I'm thinking, oh, maybe we can. I have new ideas to increase our participation in our actions. But until now, we do a lot of things. We do a virtual conference every 2 years, a hybrid conference before the Retina International World Congress, support the social media interactions, support the Retina International when required, and we try to create and promote social interaction and engagement among youth global community. Of course, we are very open if you are watching and thinking in new ideas as me to put more actions in the Youth Council. Nowadays, we have a lot of participants and representatives of different countries. If I forgot any country, please, sorry. But let's go. It's Brazil, Canada, United Kingdom, Swiss, Ireland, New Zealand, Finland, and I think it's this. I don't know if there is one more. And to participate, to be part of the Youth Council, we have to have the compromise to participate in the willing, of course. And you need to be 18 to 35 years old. You have to know English to participate. You have to be denominated by your institution, your local institution. And you have to be a person with retinal disease or a family member or something related. It's a pleasure to explain for you the Youth Council history, objectives, actions, and of course, if you want to participate and get in contact with us, it will be a pleasure to be more people involved. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks for that, guys. Giving an insight about the Youth Council and the benefits of joining, and the kind of togetherness as well. So we are still waiting on Arthur and Liliane to be on in the next few minutes. So I think we might just go on to maybe the next conversations after that, which, Marina, if you're okay with doing the smart glasses, and then Cecilia with the psychological, and then we'll get back to hopefully the Bon in the next few minutes then after that, if that's okay with you guys.
Sure.
Just go backwards on the agenda instead of waiting around, so
Sure.
it could be a few minutes. So I'll just go back to sharing the screen for you, Marina.
Okay. So when Andrew put the slides, the idea now is to not to do a publicity or something about a specific device, but rather than that, is to kind of talk about assistive technology and how that help us in our daily life, which talking about this specific device that I'm using right now, and kind of giving my personal perspective. It's also very new for me. I just got them less than 2 weeks that I'm using them. So what I'm talking about the Ray-Ban smart meta glasses. And I'm not sure it's only for me, but I'm seeing the slides kind of really small and with another slide that, like, I'm seeing 2 slides instead of 1. Doesn't that bother me? I'm just, maybe it's, you understand what I'm saying?
Have a look there. Sorry about that. A sec there.
But what I would like to mention before going through exactly what the glasses is and how can it help us is that when we think about assistive technology, that can be anything that help us in the activities that we do in our daily life, in our work, in our education, whatever you name it. So it doesn't, normally when you think about assistive technology, maybe you think specifically like this is the kind of the magnifier or this specific tool or a cane or something like that. And sometimes it's when it's more technological, we relate that it's very expensive. But when we go through the root of the concept of assistive technology, is kind of anything that will actually support us to better perform in daily activities, in work activities, and so on. So sometimes we can make things become our assistive technology depending the use we give to them. I've seen many examples of that throughout my life experience with low vision. I have Stargardt disease since I was 12, so for 22 years, I've been living with low vision, even before, I would say. But and so just having this open mind about assistive technology, not say this is not assistive technology or this is assistive technology, but rather than that, if something is helping my daily life and it's helping my tasks, that can be thought and think as an assistive technology. So the Meta, this Ray-Ban glasses, these are smart glasses made from a partnership with Meta and Stellar Luxottica, which normally we say Ray-Ban. I think the Ray-Ban brand, it's more new to everyone. And what does it have? It's a normal glasses. If you cannot see, I will describe to you. I'm using them. They have a camera on the left side, just up on my left eye. On the right eye, there is kind of a light to indicate that I'm taking a photo or something like that. They have microphones and they have speakers. And it's kind of a normal glass. You can choose then in different multiple options of lens. Mine is transition. So now, because I'm in an environment that hasn't a lot of light, it's kind of a clear lens. But if you have prescription, etc., you can change the lens. You can put the lens you would like to have. And what it basically does, and of course it has a battery that you would charge using the case. If you can see, but if not, I'm showing the case right now, and it's a brown leather case where you connect on the bottom of it with normal USB lightning cable, and then you connect inside. And it charges really quickly. It doesn't take long to charge. If you charge the case, you can charge the glasses multiple times without need to really connect the case again. So if you're wearing it and then the battery level goes down and you are on the street, you can just put inside your case, wait for, I don't know, half an hour, and then you can put it again and you'll be charged. And to use it, you connect with an app. So you download a specific app on your Android Apple Store, and you connect it with your smartphone via Bluetooth, and you need internet to use it. Basically, the glasses is a device to connect with an AI, with Meta AI. And you use it by a voice command, and what it does, it takes pictures, it records videos. I think that's the main function that most people are using it, because it was created to do Instagram live stream. It's something that I've never done with using that. But what I think it's fantastic, besides having an AI that you can talk about life and existence, which is really cool, is that when by taking photos, by voice commands, you ask the glasses to take different types of photos. And if you can move to the next one, Andrew, that would be fine, the next slide. Because how actually I'm using them to support in my challenge with low vision. So I asked the glass to take photos and describe for me the environment and things. I asked the glasses to identify objects around me. I asked the glasses to read things for me, which is really cool. There is a process of learning about the glasses, learning how to use it. I'm still getting it, but so far it's been really helpful. For instance, I had to call someone and the phone was on the paper and there was multiple informations. And because with Stargardt disease, I lost central vision. So my big challenges are actually in really identifying things that are far away from me, etc. Seeing prices on the supermarket, for instance. And I just asked the glasses, hey, name of the glasses, I would just do a demo. Can you find and read the telephone number for me? And it was really quickly, took a picture and it did tell me the telephone, and it was absolutely right. Another day I was cooking and I need to read the instructions. And I just say, hey, look and tell me how many minutes do I need to put this on the oven? And very quickly it gave me all the instructions without error. At the supermarkets now I can see the price. I can know the price of everything that I needed, and many other things that I think it's very interesting. So in terms of like, I think it's making my life easier. It's really practical in these terms, like looking at menus in the restaurants. When I go with your friends, another day I was there and it was able to read for me, identify, and then you keep talking with it. What is on the menu? Tell me about the soft drinks and tell me the price of this item. It's kind of really normal conversation. It will not start reading from the bottom to down. If you ask specifically to read all of it, it will start reading. But there is a limitation in terms of hardware or processing information. So if the text is too long, it will not read it all. It will give you a summary. And then you can kind of select parts and ask to read this specific part, and that will work. But when you're looking at signs, prices, or reading menus, stuff like that, if you talk with the glasses as if you were talking with a person, it will work better. That's my personal experience. I'm finding it very helpful for those things that I'm saying. And also, and this is not very connected to like it's your life and it's practicality, it's making your life easy thing that you cannot do. I'm enjoying because sometimes when you go at the streets and when you have low vision, or I'm talking about low vision because I'm not completely blind, I still have my peripheral vision. I look around and I know there are things around me that I cannot access that information. Maybe I I wonder there is a kind of maybe signs, or maybe I see on the other side of the street and I keep thinking, what is on the other side of the street? Is there stores? What type of stores, and so on? And with the glass, I just asked, and he replied to me what it is. And I'm finding this fascinating because I have a feeling that my world has expanded to that. Kind of my own wealth, it's growing now because it's not necessary for my life, which will not make a big change on what I'm specifically doing, but it's cool. It enhances our curiosity. It makes my life, I think it grows my experience of living. And maybe I'm enthusiastic with life. I think I definitely am. But I really like the possibility of just knowing because I can. Just knowing there is a laundry on the other side of the street because I can ask and I can have that information. What I'm going to do with that? Probably nothing. But I find it's very cool because I believe that living is about that. Living is about interactions, about knowing, it's about, I don't know, having fun with silly things. And I'm really enjoying the glasses because of that. So I will try to do a quick demo. I'm wondering about time. So I'm not sure if you will able to hear. I hope I will put the volume very high. So maybe you can hear when it's high. And if you cannot hear, don't worry. Then you can watch on YouTube. There are many YouTubers who are doing reviews on that. So, hey, Meta. Good morning. Can you hear or no? Any feedback if you can hear or no?
No, I'm just
You're slightly, but
listening
not
to
too
you,
much.
not
That-
the glass.
No, you were not able to hear. Let's try again, maybe. Hey, Meta. Good morning. Nothing at all, right?
No, nothing at all.
Yeah, it's difficult to hear because they were made only for you to hear them, not for the others outside.
This is good.
This is very good. Yeah, you don't need to speak really loud. You speak if you talk normally or even very slow, it will hear, and it only you can actually hear the glasses. No one around you can hear what it's saying. But if I ask,
This is
hey
important.
Meta, look and describe for me. It took a picture now, and now it starts saying. It appears to be a laptop screen showing multiple people video conference. There are other electronic devices on the background. So there's
Wow,
another computer
amazing.
monitor, a phone, etc. So I was trying to say what he was saying simultaneously. Maybe I missed some words. But I'm just looking at my computer. He said that it's a video conference, probably on Zoom. And there are multiple devices. I have another monitor. He identified that. And I have my smartphone here. And of course, a little bit messy, as normally well, what it is. So it really works well. Of course, it has its limitations. It's not available in our country, so it's available in the US, Canada, United Kingdom, Spain, France, Germany, and Italy. And it does not speak Portuguese, which is my mother language, so I'm using it in English. But it speaks Spanish and French, and Germany and Italy. And they announced that very soon they will be they will be available a connection between these glasses and Be My Eyes, which is an app that is very known in our community and something that I use a lot. So I'm looking forward to see when this new update will be available. It has already been announced with multiple other features like live translations and helping me choosing clothes, etc. So if you go to YouTube and you see what has been announced in terms of Meta Ray-Ban glasses, you see that the next update, it's really promising. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoy it. But remember that this was not made for blind individuals initially, but a lot of blind people are using it, and I'm finding very helpful. I didn't mention, but the price range from $300 to $350 or $370 more or less, depending on the lens you want to put on them. That's it. Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks very much for that, Marina. It's really interesting, and what the glass can do, and I'm sure it'll have a great impact for you in the future when you use it more often. So it looks like Liliane is on at the moment, so I think we'll go ahead and just try and stick with the agenda that we've had put at the start. So we're probably waiting for our other athlete, Arthur, but we can probably get started with the questions, Cecilia, with Liliane, if that suits. So I'll pass you over to Cecilia, guys.
Yes, of course. Let's go. Hi, Liliane.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
My name.
everyone.
Hello. Thank you very much to be here with us
Okay.
in this morning or afternoon.
It's a pleasure for me. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. And we will talk. I will do some questions for you to understand your story or your trajectory and the sport that you are doing now.
Okay.
My name is Cecília. I don't know if you participate in the beginning, and I'm the chair of Youth Council in this moment.
Okay.
My first question is if you can tell me about the key moments in your life, just to understand who you are, and after I will ask more questions.
Okay. And are you listening? My sound, are you listening well?
Yeah,
It's okay?
It's okay.
The video is, I don't know, I'm not very used to use Zoom. It's functioning.
The video is okay too. I'm not
okay
seeing,
too?
but I think so.
Okay. Marina
sees more than me.
Your video, if I'm seeing it right, it's just kind of frozen on your face, and you are looking to the left. For me, appears you're looking to the left, but it's kind of frozen. Am I right, Andrea?
It's working.
I don't see really well either.
Anyway.
I don't see any video, so I'm not too sure.
Okay, no problem. Just to check if it's working. Okay. So first, thank you for this invitation. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And I'm trying, as I talked to Marina, my English is not very good. So if you don't understand, please, Marina, help me.
Of course. Cecilia is also amazing. So we are both here.
Okay.
I can help you too. I'm Brazilian, so don't worry.
Okay. Okay. Actually, now I'm living in Montreal, hopefully a year. We moved to here, to Canada, and here I speak more French than English. So it's a key moment in my life, actually, too. So to beginning from the end. And my name is Liliane. I have Stargardt disease. Stargardt type is 3, is the worst one, I think. So I could realize my loss of vision when I was about 7 years old. So the moment at school when I was learning to write and to read, I think I could never see things on the board. So I had about today 3% of vision. It's difficult to measure, as you know, but all my life I have never seen well. So that's about my disease. That I'm Brazilian. I'm a psychologist. I studied. I did a master's degree in Brazil. And today I work as a psychologist as well. And now I live in Montreal.
Okay, Liliane, thank you very much. So you are very similar to me because I'm a psychologist too. Very nice.
We are colleagues.
Yeah. So, and the second question is about your visual impairment, but you said you have started. You want to say anything else about this topic?
For example,
I don't know the difficulties that you have, or if you are using some assistive technology nowadays.
Oh,
if it
yes,
was easy
okay.
to accept your condition or not.
Okay. Well, for me, my vision impairment was always characteristic like any other. It was, for me, it wasn't like, it was never intrinsic deficit. I know if I can express myself well, but like another characteristics there I have, for example, my eye, my hair, everything. And I also have a problem. I can't see very well. For me, it was always like that. So, of course, it's a characteristic that entails several challenges in a world primarily driven by vision. Of course, it's hard. It always was hard. But in my mind, it was just like that. It wasn't something that made me sad because I couldn't see. For me, the problem is the consequences, the world that was not things that I want to do and I couldn't, but not me, myself. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
understood.
trace it. So I think I have ever tried to do things that was possible. For example, when it comes to sports, I have loved sports since I was young, since I was at school, but it wasn't possible to practice because it wasn't accessible. But I tried anyway. I tried, and so it was something that was that I like it, but I couldn't. So for me, okay, life. Oh, I continue my life as doing my things and doing another things that was possible without vision. So I think it's the way that I deal with my vision impairment is like that, you know.
Yeah.
I try to focus on the things that I can do and not on I can't. I try, oh, I cannot, okay, no problem, I will try another thing. And today with the technology, I think everything changed when it comes to access the information. So it's much, much more easier. And I love technology. So to use everything that I can. I'm very used to VoiceOver. It's Apple devices, but I could use Android as well if I should to.
Very nice. And nowadays you use a cane or not? It's not necessary.
Yes, I have to. A mobility. I have to use a cane to move. It's necessary, completely necessary. I cannot move alone without my cane.
Okay. Just to
And
understand
he,
the severity of the disease.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. And what about sports? When did you start to do sports or to, I don't know.
Okay. When I was at school as a child, I tried and I did the class that I had to do. As I said, it wasn't accessible. So I tried, but it didn't work very well. It was very hard, but not accessible. So I left. I just did as possible, how possible it was. So, but I always like it. Today I'm aware of that. So, but I think that I focused on study and everything I had to do to complete the school and then to complete the university. So, but I married Fabio, is my husband, and with him, I think that this switch rekindled because he loves sport too. So we started to do sport together and to find things to do together that was possible for us both. So I have swimmed, I did dance, we danced together. But one day we learned about CrossFit, and I decided to try it without any expectation, because I have tried another sport. It wasn't possible, especially because a lot of sports you have to see to practice beyond the Paralympics ones. Okay. So we tried, and I realized bit a bit that it was possible. Oh, it's possible. I can do that. I can do that. And each class was incredible, because I could realize that was possible, and there were just a few movements that are the most simple ones, that wasn't like running and jumping on a box, do the box jump, or wall ball, which is throw a ball on the wall and then again and repeat this movement. The most difficult was the simple ones. I don't know if you know about CrossFit, how it works.
No, I have no idea about
Okay.
CrossFit.
Okay.
Sorry, Cecilia, can I jump in on this one, or do you hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
What
Sorry.
you say, I didn't listen.
Liliane,
Okay.
I'm Vincent. I'm joining a bit the interview section if I have a question. So
okay.
I know a bit CrossFit, but
Okay.
there's certain types like pull-ups and stuff. Do you do that? Do you do that too?
Yes, I do. Pull-ups.
Okay. And
Yes, okay. Bar muscle ups. If you...
Do you go to competitions in I think that in CrossFit there are like competition and stuff and tourneurs and everything?
Yes. So it's very interesting this question, because there in September there was the CrossFit Games adaptive with a modality for vision impairment, males and females. And do you know about CrossFit Games? CrossFit Games is like you know?
I know a bit. Doing fitness as well, and there's some CrossFitters always in the gym, and yeah, I talk with them a bit, and it's cool things. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, first I will talk about okay. So this competition is the first time that CrossFit Games includes adaptive modalities, including vision impairment. So I compete in this modality, and actually I won the competition. So
Congratulations.
the first one. Yes, thank you. It was an incredible experience for me. 4 days of competitions in Texas last month, actually, in September. And before there were another modalities, adaptive modalities, including the most of them was physical impairment for wheelchair and things like that. People has amputation, but the modality for vision impairment is the first time that they have the complete games, the complete competition, because the competition has the first step, the first phase is online, and then another semifinals online again, and then the final phase of this competition is presential. So
are there a lot of people in this group for visual impairments? Is it a big crew?
yes, the adaptive games, there were almost 300 athletes in total.
Wow.
All categories. I think that was 270. Yes, I think it's I don't know the number exactly, quantity, but the final was just the 10 spots for each category. We have to classify it before.
So Liliane
wow.
was the first blind woman to win the competition in the world.
Yes.
That's how big it is. It's really cool. I put a link on the chat if you want to check some pictures and see her on the podium. It's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
And congratulations.
Congratulations. That's so great, you know. And which else? So you do CrossFit now. Was there anything else you try out like on your way? Like there's calisthenics or weightlifting or whatever?
Okay, in CrossFit, there is a weightlifting, gymnastic movements, endurance. It's a mix of everything. It's very cool, I think, of course, but it's nice because we don't have a routine, so each day is different, and we work a lot of capacities, our physical capacities too, and so in CrossFit, I think I do a lot. We have, for example, running, rowing, ski erg movements that are aerobic ones. A lot of exercise that we have to have power and technique too as well. So technical movements. So it's very cool. Here in Montreal, okay, I'm not sure about your question. You asked if I did another sports.
Yeah.
Or no?
If you in that you said in the beginning like you tried different things and different sports and before you did CrossFit. So just wondering what things do you try?
Okay. I tried swimming. Normal swimming, kung fu.
Nice.
Yeah. Dancing, I love dancing. So I continue to dance.
Mhm.
And here in Montreal, I could try fencing. It's very
Fencing?
interesting. Fencing is, do you know?
Dancing.
Fencing.
Fencing, I don't know. What is fencing?
Esgrima.
Ah, okay.
Rima?
Esgrima, I don't know. There is another word in
I
English.
don't know if there is another name.
Yeah, so
Okay.
ski too.
Ski, oh, so nice.
Ski, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's rolling ski on the, what's the name? The ski on the, not on the ice. Ski. In Brazil,
don't
I
know.
try it too. Do you know?
For me, ski is on in the ice, so I don't know.
I'm not very
the
specialist in ski, but fencing
Yeah, I
is
don't know.
sword fights. You know this type of sword that it's very thin, and you see a lot of that in Paralympics and the Olympics. That's
Wow.
that is what it is.
But how
I
you
don't
done
understand so
that?
much about sports, so I don't know. But congratulations,
thank you.
Liliane, for the what do you win? It's so nice.
It's really great, yeah.
And for me, sport is beyond the, okay, it's excellent for the health, physical health, but it helps a lot for me to find a community that can support us. We have a lot of friends from the gym today. We knew a lot of people. So for me, sports, it's very important when it comes to not to physical health and because
So as well for mental health, it's important for you.
yes, exactly.
That's great, yeah.
Mental health and to know people, great people.
Social interaction, yeah.
social interaction. Thank you, exactly.
Very nice, Liliane. Thank you very much to share. Do you want to add something?
So just if one of you wants to know more about details about everything, we can talk later, and I can explain everything if you want.
I want. It's very interesting. And I didn't know anything about CrossFit. Now I want to know.
Okay.
And I would like to know how you do fencing, because this is really great that you tried and done it. I cannot imagine how you do it.
Okay.
But I don't know, do we have time left, Andrew, or?
Perfect. I was just going to mention there, guys. Thanks very much for that, Liliane. Really interesting stuff. And I appreciate the time coming on as well. Our next athlete, actually, Arthur Silva, is actually on now as well. So we can proceed maybe with our next athlete and go through the questions with Arthur, if that suits Cecília and Vincent.
Okay. We can
Yep,
do it.
perfect.
Right. Yeah. Liliane, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you really much. Yes.
I will translate for Arthur, so I will say to you that we will start. Just 1 minute. Arthur, Cecília aqui falando, pode abrir seu áudio? A gente vai começar a falar com você agora. Não sei se está me ouvindo. Arthur,
I
você
think
tá aí?
Arthur is on mute. Just need to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Arthur, você precisa desmutar seu microfone.
Pronto, estão me vendo, ouvindo?
Sim,
Bem,
estamos te vendo e ouvindo. Muito obrigada. Eu vou fazer assim, Arthur. Eu vou te perguntar em português, aí eu vou falar a pergunta em inglês, aí você começa a responder, aí de tempo em tempo você dá uma pausa só para eu conseguir traduzir. Tá bom?
Tá bom.
Beleza?
Okay.
Só vou fazer
If
uma
you want to
introdução.
try, I think that I can speak a little bit in English too. And if you
it's
have
okay.
some doubt, you translate to me. That's okay?
It's possible. Yeah, it's okay. So you can do a presentation of you to start, if you want.
Okay. My name is Arthur Silva. I have retinitis pigmentosa since my 2 years with the diagnosis. And I always know that I will be blind someday, and I don't see as my friends and my family. But when to you know how I see before, when falls some coin in the ground, usually I have a lot of difficulty to find this coin or small objects. My mother check it and let follow me to the doctor, and he said the diagnosis because my father have retinitis pigmentosa too, and already was blind, so was easy to to find the diagnosis, and I always was moved by movement, so I never stopped to practice any kind of sport and activities. And so I play everything than a kid growing up in the streets of Brazil had played in the kiddings, but too in sports like basketball, volleyball, football, running, bicycle, swimming, and other sports like handball. So I tried everything, but I was always the worst in that sports, I never get any good result, but I always had fun in all of these sports, and I always practiced this with people without any kind of deficiency. So it was hard sometimes because I compare myself with them, but was easier to have fun for me. Was good to have fun. I never was very worried about to be the better or to be very good in that kind of sports and activities. But I always continue to practice while I can, because when I had 15 years, I don't get more to do the sports that I loved more as football and bicycle cycling. Um, so when I need to stop these sports because bicycle was really dangerous already. To know was some like to use the bicycle for 20 kilometers, just following white 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 line in the street, and so I never had the visão periférica, the side for the
Peripheral
I
vision.
never peripheral vision. Yes, I never had the peripheral vision, any for the sides and for top or down. So just in the front, I had more or less good acuidade.
Acuity, exactly. It's right.
So ride bicycle for 20 kilometers this way was really dangerous. Sometimes some cars almost taken me in the way for there. And when I back for this trip, we back like 5 p.m. here in my city. 5 p.m. is almost night. It's close to night, and in the dark, I always was blind. So a lot of adventures for me since I was really, really, really young. But this trip, especially, I was seeing very few, and when I was getting back, it was close to the night, as I said, and was raining. Was raining, so I used to glasses for hypermetropy and astigmatism. So was really difficult more to see in my frontal vision because the water in my glasses. So really, really, really dangerous. And after this day, I stopped the bicycle. I stopped my career in the bicycle, riding bicycle, and a group of students where I study, they called me to try judo. I never have had heard about judo, but a lot of judo, but I know that was a sport that need to grip. So I remember when I fight with my brother that I always have more facility to beating him when we was more near, so gripping. So when I go to the judo, I have this memory to try this new sport. And really, when I start in the judo, was the first time in my life that I feel doing good something like better than my friends without any deficiency. So this feeling was very nice. Even I don't like so much judo in the beginning because it's very boring. You need to learn to fall and amortecer a queda. How I can say it? Fall and
Is I don't know. Marina, amortecer a queda.
to do the throwing, the fall don't hurt. We need to know to learn to don't
To learn
hurt.
how fall.
Yes, learn how fall to don't hurt when we fall. And this part of judo is very boring, very boring. In the beginning, it's very hard to learn to throw somebody. So the judo in the beginning is really very boring because we need a lot of time to perceive some difference, some evolution. So in the beginning, to me, it was boring because it's hard to evolve, but was happy because I feel that I was evolving faster than my friends. So I still doing judo until even because was I think that the only thing that I could do in that time that I know. So I as I say, I always was moved by moving. So I was happy and was hard too because I was perceiving that my sight was finishing and my possibilities was finishing as well. So I just go through, break through. I just go on. I just go on and try to do my best as ever I had. So 2 years before, I was called to fight for the first time against people without vision. Not to say the truth, was people with visual deficiency, not just blinds.
Visual
People visually
disability.
impaired. Yes, visually impaired.
Mhm.
So the majority of them was not totally blind as me, but really visually impaired. And in this competition, I get the first place. It was the Brazilian competition championship under 23 years old. So youngers, I get the gold medal in this competition. After this, the national team look for me and see somebody who could do a good work in the future. So they called me to the national team. Even I never had won a senior competition with, free age. But they invested in me for the future. After this, in 2011, I was in the national team and get some results as 4 times Pan American champion, 8 times Brazilian champion, national champion, 2 world championship medals, silver and bronze, 8 times World Grand Prix champion, and now Paralympic champion.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. God's good. And in this way, I had a lot of difficulty in 2011 because was the same year when I came in the Federal University here in Brazil to study history, and the teachers don't help me to anular, to annul, to forget my faults, because I train a lot and compete a lot out of my city. So even I had good results in the tests, in the works, in the university. I don't was able to be always there. So I was reproved because my faults, because my trips. Here in Brazil, we have this difficult, different of other parts of the world, when the athlete can to do the both. So I need to choose in that moment what I will focus, and I decided to focus in judo. And as I said, I think that it works. But I get sad in this moment because I would like to do the both, and was hard so much to do high performance life in the judo and a high performance in the university, and I don't had this help in my country, in my city. But I'm glad with the result, and now I'm here. So I'm able to help you in what more you want to know about me.
Okay. What is the importance for judo in your life?
It's about it's total importance about my improvements. I live by judo today. The judo pay my accounts. So the judo was a new hope for me about sports, because, as I say, I was always moved by moving. So I was worried when I was 15 about what kind of sport I could to still practicing. So the judo was the answer for me in this time. And now I really like judo. In the beginning, it's very boring, but when we after 2 years, it starts to be funny. So
Nice.
this is
And
the important.
do you think judo is a easy type of sport to adapt for blind people?
Totally. I think that one of the most easier, because it's the same rules of the Olympic judo, minus just the same rules, but not the rule about to start gripping. It's the only difference. The only difference is in the para judo is that we need to start gripping in the adversary. But when I fight with athlete without without deficiency that sees normally, I can fight very well against them. I already I was champion in some Olympic championships, as federal championship. I was gold in a regional championship, very strong championship here in Brazil. I get third. So when somebody grip in my judogi, even I don't was gripping before, I get to fight against him. So it's a very very easy sport to adapt for blind people.
Nice. And what do you think about the importance of sport for people with visual impairment? Is it important to practice any sports or not?
Sure, the sport for me, it's important for everyone, but especially for visually impaired people, or people with some kind of deficiency, because we have the stereotype in the society that everybody says that we we have a deficiency, so we need to be stopped. Stopped just being served, but the sport is a way to show for all the world then people with so any kind of deficiency can be in movement and a lot of movement, and sometimes or a lot of times move much more than a lot of people without any kind of deficiency. So the sport allow yes, is a lot of have a lot of importance for anyone.
Nice, very nice. And do you think it's a good plan or idea for life, become a Paralympic athlete or not? What do you think
Yes.
for this career?
Yes. I think that to be a Paralympic athlete is not, of course, the only way for every visually impaired, or but is a very nice way, mainly here in Brazil, because mainly maybe 10 years before, you don't need to be the best to have profits to have money in the Paralympic sports. You just need to be you have discipline. You just need to have resilience. You just need to be able to train. So was a short way to have to get money, to get a social position, to say, I am Brazilian champion. So it's nice too. So it's a short way to get more autoestima, to get
Self-esteem.
more self-esteem.
Yeah.
So that.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Arthur. I will ask if Vincent is another guy have any question too. Vincent, do you want to ask something? Anything?
Arthur, first, really impressive. Congratulations to all your achievements. Actually, you have all my questions which I have noted. You already answered. So I have nothing more on that. Just like you started judo with 15, right? Do I get it right?
Yes, 15.
So it's kind of late, and you still managed to get at the top. That's really impressive.
And one particularity is that I was totally blind when I was 23, but even when since when I arrived in Parajudo into 2011, I perceived that a lot of people see too much. They don't have some visual impair for be there. So I need to break through, to overcome this stuff, this angry, because unhappily the Paralympics had a lot of fraud yet. But since 2021, after the Tokyo Paralympics, finally they separated the people that had just visually impaired in the theory, because this was 3 classifications: B1, B2, B3. B2 and B3 are not blind, just B1. But in the practice, in the truth, in the real, the B2 and B3, good part of them are like B8. They see too much. They should not be there, because the classification is very subjective. So if the people lie, they come in the Paralympics. So until 2021, the Paralympics was like the Serie B of the Olympics, just a level down, because a lot of athletes drives car and then compete in the Paralympics, for example. So we have this difficult too, So after 2021, after Paralympic Games of Tokyo, we um, we separated the B1 of the other classifications, and since there we have more equality in the classification, and it was very important for me and for other athletes that already was really blind, you know.
Yeah, this is important thing that you are saying, because it's totally different of blind people doing a judo and a person seeing. So it's
Yeah, yeah. Even judo is easier to adapt, but the blind will be have a lot of more difficult to evaluate than people that can drive a car, for example.
Yes, makes sense. Yes, you're right. Arthur, thank you very, very, very much. It's amazing listen your trajectory, your story, your I don't know challenge, and it's amazing for us perceive that it's possible to do an sport and to do a professional sport and win and start late, because 15 years is you were a little old when you started, but it's very nice that you are here and you try it and you won a lot of things. So it's amazing. I think it's a way to show how is it possible even with the difficulty that we have. So thank you very much for your presentation. Do you want to say anything else?
I thanks for the invitement. I'm sorry for the I'm not with my phone device. I am a little bit don't I'm not really ready to to talk with you because I was planning for 9 a.m. here in Brazil for 1 hour later. But I think that it works. So thank you for the invitement. Sorry for something, and we can still talking after I'm able to help as possible. Okay.
Thank you very much, Arthur.
Okay. Yeah, thank you really much. It was really interesting.
Perfect. Thanks very much for that, Arthur. Really interesting stuff, and massive congratulations on the achievements you've made as well. So we'll move on to the next topic here, guys. So we have Mariana, who is here with us now, and she is going to go through eye care, retinal disease, treatment, and cures. And Mariana, if you just want to just introduce yourself a bit, and then we'll go to the topics what you're going to discuss. So thanks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you a lot for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be with this group. I really follow and appreciate all your activities, and it's really, really interesting to be in touch always. So I'm Mariana Salles. I'm an ophthalmologist here in Brazil, and I practice on my own clinic and in the university, Federal University here in São Paulo, São Paulo City, in São Paulo State in Brazil. And I've been working with retinal dystrophy since 2011. And I conclude my PhD in 2018 in Stargardt disease here at the University, Federal University of São Paulo. And I did a fellowship in Portland with Dr. Penesi in 2014 during my PhD time. It was really important for my career and my instruction to work with all those retinal diseases by this time. So today we will talk about eye care and retinal diseases and possibilities of treatment and what is going on in this spectrum nowadays. So about our eye care, I think it's always important to start to understand how ophthalmologists work around the world with eye care, because we are always trying to avoid or to minimize those eye diseases and become less blinding people. So we are always focused on this goal. And so the eye care must start at the first year of age, the first year of life. And this first appointment must be in this first appointment must be included all the anatomic and functional characteristics of the eye. So at the first year of life is the first most important ophthalmologist appointment. So in this moment, we can confirm if the eyes are completely formed, if those optic nerves are working well, if the little baby can see and follow things by stimulating with light and objects, toys, if the pupil are working well, and if both eyes had the same size, if they don't have any ametropy that must be corrected in that age. And for the end, we will do the retinal examination to see if all the blood vessels, all the retina, and all the structures are well formed for this time. After this first appointment, we must follow the ophthalmologist information about the second time for the next appointment. Any different country have different protocols for those times, those important times to do all the appointments in the first age of life. Here in Brazil, we have this first one in the first year of life, the second one before 3 years old, the third one before 5 years old, and of course, if all of those appointments before are okay and normal, we are walk this way during the younger age. So during that time, the eye care for little children are focused in strabismus and ametropies. Of course, we must be attention with all those different possibilities, like children that born before that they must, or like prematures, or if they have any trauma or any important inflammation or infection in the eyes. So all those information can change the eye care in this first time. So after 7-10 years, we started to care like a teenager person, and in this time we are focused in the capacity of having the best visual acuity for study, mainly because it's the time we need the best visual acuity to improve our brain and our knowledgement, and it starts in this time of life. So have appointments during between 7 and 14 years old, it's really, really important, because sometimes with a patient, with a teenager that have low visual acuity, we can have other problems that can be uh, improve or becoming better with eye care and eyeglasses or any other kind of treatment that they need, because sometimes children, teenagers with low visual acuity, they have student problem for learning, for do those activities, to be focused during the class and do all the tests, and can look like a disabled or no focus person, and it can be become not good student. So the visual and the ophthalmologist appointment is really important that time, to keep it everything with eye and visual is going well. So after this teenager time, we start with eye care of adults. Adults have something interesting, because they don't have those cares anymore. They care by their self. They don't have more parents or some friends that can show, oh, have something wrong with your position eye, or something wrong with your difficulty during the day. So adults must be focused in their self to realize they need some appointment with an ophthalmologist, and to realize it, they must be trained to understand all the disease, how all the disease can appear. Some difficulties like driving or moving different light uh, um light during the day, like during the sun, uh, during the sunlight, or in the night, or moving to each other, passing through different light rooms. Difficult to be in the front of technology like your computers, and difficult to read. All those all those changes in eye capacity must be attended in those adults, and sometimes they can realize that they are losing their field, their visual field, and sometimes the appointment, a regular and normally appointment with the ophthalmologist, can find those problems and try to correct or guide this person faster. So after those adult time, we start in the later adults, around 40 years old, and we start a new protocol. After 40s, our main goal is glaucoma and presbyopia, and those diseases started around this time, 40, 50s, and it's really important to start an appointment every year to have your eye pressure measure every year, to design like a curve of your eye pressure, and be sure that your optic nerve is always normal, or you have any other changing during your life. So, and it will be an year appointment from 40s for all the rest of your life, just looking for eye health. So now I told you about a normal guide, a normal protocol of eye care for any person in the world, and it will be amazing if everybody in the world can be in this kind of protocol. But we know that it's really difficult in a different place in the world. But so those information must be shared with many people to active all those ones that we can imagine that have any eye problem and be realized that need an ophthalmology appointment and start your eye care. Okay, so many other diseases we can find in this protocol eye care procedures during our lives, and one of them is the retinal dystrophy, and that's why I start to talk now with you. Okay, retinal dystrophy and retinal diseases can be start with a sign or a symptom or a difficulty in any different age of life. So sometimes it's difficult to comprehend for the patient that it has some disability, because it sometimes they don't share what they are feeling or what they are their symptoms with another person. Many times we heard they said, "Oh, I thought everybody see this way. I didn't know that it can be a problem, like a visual field, changing light rooms or changing lighting during the day, or a difficulty to read far and near things." And they said, "Oh no, I thought it's only a glass and I don't have time to go an ophthalmologist, so I suppose it must be just a glass, and I didn't care to look for some help." And then when they come to an ophthalmologist, any kind of ophthalmologist, any special is super specialist, and we start to find some retinal disease. So we can start with retinal disease in the youngers, like macular disease of dystrophy that can give or start a low central vision, and we can find to lose the visual field uh, in youngers too, and we can see different moments of retinal disease in any age. So we can start with losing visual field or central vision in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and all of these diseases can be a retinal dystrophy or a retinal disease. Remember, we can have retinal disease linked to another body diseases like hypertension, like diabetes, like any rheumatologic diseases that can change the retina. Okay, and those secondary retinal problems must be on focus of all the doctors, all the physicians to guide all the patients to have an ophthalmology appointment. About the retinal dystrophy, now we are talking about only those ones that can change the retina because of a genetic problem. So a genetic disease for the retina can active the middle, the central visual acuity, like Stargardt's problem, like macular dystrophy, younger or adults, like macular degeneration, and we can have all those kinds of disease in different times of life. When we are talking about visual field, we have retinitis pigmentosa. It's the most common kind of the retinal inheritance disease, and it comes with losing visual field, and it can start during the younger teenagers or adults, and can start into in the later age. We have those diseases that start since born, like Leber congenital amaurosis, with any different kinds of genes involved in the disease, is younger and a since born disease that causes lower visual acuity, with difficult to see objects, and sometimes focus on only perception of light. And we have a nystagmus, no fixation of vision, and a poor vision the first years of life. But we have some different kinds of Leber congenital amaurosis that we have a good or a partial visual acuity in the middle, with a big losing of visual field and the peripheral area. So those three big groups, we can say, those three big groups of retinal dystrophy, those youngers, the macular, and the peripheral, are involved. They involve all the genes related to retinal dystrophy. So after the boom of genetic in the world, after the genetic run for elucidate all the genoma project, we started with comprehend more about all the genetic diseases of humans, and we started to link it all those variants, mutations in genes, and those diseases that we have in humans. So in the beginnings, we have those group of patients that have a something genetic or something we don't know why they come. And nowadays we have something genetic, and we can know how they come, because we can do a genetic test, and it can show us about all the origin of the disease. Of course, we don't have 100% results nowadays, but we are looking for it. We improving the knowledge and improving the genetic tests, but it will be in the future to have 100% diagnosis. But the genetic is something really, really new. The Genoma project, like was concluded. They said that it was concluded around 2005, 2004. So it's too young knowledge. And we just finished all the project Genoma 1 or 2 years ago with the Y chromosome. And so we have too much to learn and confirm about all those tests and all those diagnoses. So about treatment, nowadays we can see the industry and all those PIs and studies and postgraduating students. Many people focus on trying to comprehend how disease works and how they can interfere in the natural history or stop the progression of the disease. Nowadays, with those genetic knowledge, most of those protocols and treatment are straight to one or two kinds of genes. So if you are looking for more exact information about the retinal dystrophy, know about your gene cause disease. It's important to be focused on all those protocols and studies around the world in that gene specifically. We nowadays have some industry trying to have any treatment that can include all those cases when for any kind of gene involved, but they still working on it, but it can be a good goal for the future. But so to know more about all those treatments, I always suggest that you must be focused on your gene because they are work really different and the goals of the treatment and the protocol are really different. And if you try to learn or read or study about all those genes and protocols, you can find your answers. So it's really important to start with knowing you, knowing your disease, knowing your gene, to go to more specific information about treatment and protocols. Nowadays, we have only RP65 gene therapy, the Luxturna for amaurosis congenital de Leber congenital amaurosis, sorry. And it's a gene therapy. It goes is to replace gene, correct and normal gene RP65, and this gene will produce a normal enzyme at RP, the retinal pigmental epithelia, and it starts to work normally, so it can improve the visual acuity of those cases. So for the future, we are looking for something equally or something similar of Luxturna for much other genes, but we have many other kinds of therapies that are being studied nowadays. Can be a drug, a drop, can be a drop. No, how can I say? A pill can be something by mouth. A pill can be a surgery, can be an injection. Many different kinds of technology involved in looking for a treatment. So we must working together and being groups to share all those information about our care, about eye disease, about protocols and knowledge to look for a better future for healthy eyes and visual acuity. So that's my appointment. Thank you a lot.
Thanks very much for that, Mariana, sorry, and really interesting stuff there, and we really appreciate the time for coming on to the webinar to join us. So we'll just move on to the last bit of the topics here, just with Cecília on the psychological aspects for people with retinal diseases, And then if anyone has questions at the end, we'll take them, or if people want to put any questions in the chat box, and then we'll conclude there at the end. So I'll pass it over to Cecília there.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mariana Salles, for the presentation. I will talk about emotional health and inherited retinal dystrophies, or retinal disease in general. It's important to share that we have a big problem about mental health in all the world for this population. We have high levels of anxiety and depression and low quality of life. And we have a lot of studies showing these high levels in different countries. So it's a world problem. It's not about one country or, I don't know, a specific place, but a big problem and big challenge in all over the world. Because of this, it's very important to talk about mental health a lot of times. When you have a chronic disease, usually you have problems with mental health, because it's very difficult to accept your condition and to adapt your life for this condition. In addition, when you have a disability, the society didn't understand, society excludes yourself, and sometimes you have a lack of accessibility in your country, in your job, in your school, in anywhere you go, in all the institutions. Because of this, people with visual impairment stay at home, have a big quantity of problems, thinking a lot, overthinking, and have difficulties to do activities of daily life. So imagine, you have a lack of accessibility. Because of this, you have difficulty to do what do you want to do. You have problems in share your experience because the society didn't understand you. You have problems in social interaction because your friends, I don't know, sometimes don't accept your condition too, or don't understand very well. You have social incomprehension. I think it's not only about comprehension or not, but it's a lack of knowledge. You don't have a society that have a knowledge about visual impairment. And additionally, with all this problem that I said, we have a financial problem too, because you spend a lot of money in healthcare, because you need to discover what you have, you need to go in the doctor every year. Sometimes you need to pay a lot of exams, and even if you don't have a cure or treatment for your disease, you need to be aware about your condition and caring about it, as Mariana said. So you need to pay attention and spend money in this situation. Sometimes you have problems to find a job because you have not accessibility or acceptance about yourself. And sometimes family members have the same difficulty to find job and care the child with visual impairment. So when you have financial problems in our society, you have mental health problems too, because you need to access the products and the things and the service, and it's very difficult to access without money. So you have the financial problem, you have the accessibility problem, you have the I don't know, exclusion problem, you have the social interaction problem, you have the lack of knowledge problem. So because of this, you see in all the world problems with anxiety and depression. But okay, we need to do something to solve this situation, to improve the quality of life of people with retinal disease. Show only the problem will not solve anything. So let's try to think in some ways to try to improve this situation for us. First of all, it's important to think that psychotherapy is a key for this type of problems, because sometimes you need to understand that you can't change all the world. It's a big problem, it's a structural problem in all the countries, and you can't change yourself with your power all the world. So sometimes you need to accept the things you can, the things you can change, because sometimes we suffered a lot thinking, oh, my city doesn't have accessibility. Okay, your city doesn't have accessibility, you can fight, you can enter in associations, you can try to do something to change it, but you will not change alone this situation. So first of all, you need to accept your condition, accept the difficulties, the social difficulties, the daily life difficulties that you have. And after this, you need to create coping strategies to deal with this. So, okay, I'm a blind person. Brazil is not doesn't have accessibility. So what I will do now? I need to accept first. Oh, maybe my city doesn't have accessibility to walk in the street, but I can't stop street walk because of this. So maybe I need to use a cane. So this is the way that you create a strategy to solve your problem. I'm feeling not so good with my condition, so maybe a way to improve your feelings is enter in contact with another person that have the same disease. Because of this, you can talk about another's perspective and feel that you belong to a group. Because sometimes when you have a rare disease, you think, oh my God, I'm just me in the world. Nobody else has the same condition. And association patients do this and show for us that you are not alone, you can participate in a group and something like that. So it's very important, first of all, a step to can create coping strategies to deal with all the difficulties that we will have. Another way to accept and create coping strategies, you can do this alone, of course, but another way is do psychotherapy. Because psychotherapy is a professional way and structured way to create forms and thinkings and reflections to move on, to adapt, to accept your condition, to think together in what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and sometimes how these feelings or these thinkings difficult your inclusion, your move on, your resilience, your courage, your movement. So sometimes our thinkings not help us, and because of this, we need to try to change this reality. So psychotherapy in this sense helps a lot. And you can do this psychotherapy individually, because of course you are not only your feelings about disabilities, you have another questions, of course, you are a person, you have another characters. So of course you can do a psychotherapy individually to think in you, in all of you, not only the disability, but you can do together as a group psychotherapy, because you can talk about only the disability and the problems about it. So it's very nice, this idea, because you can create two ways of psychotherapy to help you. Another way to improve your quality of life is do rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is a multi-professional program with a lot of activities, so orientation and mobility, active of daily life, assistive technology programs, and psychotherapy. And with this, we will perceive that you are not unable to do the things. You are just need to create another way to do the things, so you can adapt your life. And when you do rehabilitation, the studies say that you increase a lot your quality of life, because you perceive that blindness is not the end of the life. Blindness is just a situation, and you can do in another way. So if of course you need to find new ways to do the things, and sometimes you are not able to create alone, because you have a lot of creativity to know how to live with a disability, but you can find these answers in the rehabilitation process. So rehabilitation has this power to change your life in the sense to show how to adapt your life with a disability. And when you do this, you perceive, okay, I need to show for the society that there is people with there are people with disabilities. I need to show the society that there is a lack of knowledge, is a lack of accessibility. There is a big social exclusion, but I am adapt. And with this, I can think if I want to participate in associations of patients, and with this, try to change our lives. So it's important first you work with you change your mind, you do psychotherapy, you do your rehabilitation to after can fight against the difficulties with a group or alone. Other thing that you talked a lot today is about sports. So of course, if you want to have mental health, you need to care about it, doing what I said. You need to care your physical health too, because you have a body and you need to care about it. And you can do sports, because when you do sports, you perceive that you have capacity, you have something to do, you can practice something, you can be good in this, you feel better. And of course, in the way that Liliane said, you can create social interactions and be belonging a group because you are doing a sport. So sport is very important in this way to grow the mental health. So I think the three things, sports, psychotherapy and rehabilitation are the keys to change this problem that I said in the beginning. And of course, the acceptance, our acceptance of the condition, and is an active acceptance, is not a passive acceptance, because sometimes when I said acceptance, the people think, so I will accept, I'll sit here and think, okay, I have a problem and I will do anything for it because I have a problem. It's not acceptance in this sense. It's acceptance that, okay, I have a situation, how I can adapt this, how I can do in another way the things that I need to do, how I can fight against something that I want to fight or that I need to fight. So accept this, okay, this is my condition. Sometimes it's very good, sometimes it's not so good. And when it's not so good, what I can do? Because I'm a person and I have capacity and skills to change my life. So it's acceptance in this sense. So when you have acceptance, and of course acceptance, sometimes you have, sometimes not, because we are humans. But when you have acceptance, you can do psychotherapy, rehabilitation, sports, and be part of groups like Retina International. So is this that I have to talk about mental health. I hope I help everybody. And if you have any questions, I'm here. I can talk about it with us. Thank you.
Thanks very much for that, Cecília. And just going to conclude everything here, guys. So first of all, I just want to say thanks very much for the athletes Liliane and Arthur and Mariana as well joining us. I really appreciate the time, and most of all, I appreciate the work that I've been doing with the three officers on the youth council as well, such as Cecília, Vincent and Marina. It's been a lot of work put in for the past few weeks going for this webinar for World Sight Day, so I appreciate everyone's time, and most of all everyone's time to join in on the webinar and listen to the topics and the discussions we've had. Just so you know, the webinar is recorded, so will be accessible on the website as well by the end of today. So for those who couldn't make it or anything, you can definitely view it in your own time if you like. If anyone has any questions, feel free to drop it in the chat box or drop myself an email. But I just appreciate everyone's time being on the webinar here, and look, happy World Sight Day, and enjoy the rest of your day or night, and I look forward to seeing all of you again in the future for future webinars as well. So thanks very much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Andrew.